Ether and also potentially like 15 seconds.
Yes.
Instead of having to use another Trinity limit.
Ethers are pretty tight in this route. They took most of them out of the original Kingdom Hearts 2, so we have to be pretty careful with not just spamming them all the time.
Plus, the more you pick up, the more time it takes, so you really
Yeah.
want to try to use less if you can.
All right, so now instead of actually jumping right into the next Gummy mission and going to Beast Castle, this is forced after you beat 2 of these Disney worlds. They come back and they want to show you the 100-acre wood. We don't have to actually go here and like collect pages and go in and do the mini games, but once they force us in here, technically twice.
Yeah, this is where we're going to get our first summon of the run, and Chicken Little is quite useful throughout the run. You're going to see him used a lot. I'm going to do a little Keyblade change here. That's a big reason why we went to Olympus Coliseum, was to get Hero's Crest. Has a good ability, air combo boost, to boost our air combos. What a surprise. And does a little bit more damage, so good stuff.
All right, soldiers are strong, so yeah.
Perfect. Another one of those fights we can death abuse through.
Again, all those fights can end in one of 3 ways. You either just waste enough time, you deal enough hits, that one you can just end the fight by killing all of them, or you can just take enough damage. So.
Now that he's done with that, we're going to be coming up to the next Gummy mission, which also means the next song. So, Edo, what's it going to be?
Oh my goodness, it was such a close one, but we are doing Hunchback of Notre Dame with Hellfire.
All right.
Wow.
All right.
Where's Zem? Get up here.
Thank God we don't have to do a Gummy mission.
Yes.
Bloody can take care of that one. All right. So again, guys, we're going to be doing 5 total of these.
This is number 3. You only got 2 left.
Zim, I love you.
Check. Okay, cool.
Click, clack.
Here we go.
All right, since I'm way less professional than these two.
Dude, I was going to go over the phone as well. Don't even feel bad.
Beata Maria, you know I am a righteous man. Of my virtue I am justly proud. Beata Maria, you know I'm so much purer than the common, vulgar, weak, licentious crowd. Then tell me, Maria, why I see her dancing there, why her smoldering eyes still scorch my soul. I feel her, I see her, the sun caught in her raven hair is blazing in me out of all control. Like fire, hellfire, this fire in my skin, this burning desire is turning me to sin. It's not my fault. I'm not to blame. It is the gypsy girl, the witch who sent this flame. It's not my fault. It fit God's plan. He made the devil so much stronger than a man. Protect me, Maria. Don't let this siren cast her spell. Don't let her fire sear my flesh and bone. Destroy Esmeralda and let her taste the fires of hell, or else let her be mine and mine alone. Hellfire, dark fire, now gypsy, it's your turn. Choose me or your pyre, be mine or you will burn. God have mercy on her, God have mercy on me. But she will be mine, or she will burn.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Dude, we are rocking the house tonight.
Wow, dude.
Hey, look at that donation total. It's getting pretty close.
All right, 842,000 guys, 900,000 by the end of all the Kingdom Hearts stuff. You got a few hours left. Let's make it happen. Beast Castle, what is happening?
So in Beast Castle, we're introduced to the Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beast.
Yeah, he cool.
Okay.
All right.
But at the very
He's in the
beginning here, we're
castle.
instead going to have to fight some shadows, or just use some fire on some shadows. You could, again, die to this one, but it's pretty quick to just use some fires into that Valor explosion there to take him out. going to be buying a Sardonyx ring here that's going to give him some extra AP and
strength.
And strength.
Yeah.
Yes.
+1 strength, +1 AP.
We're going to get an extra accessory slot later on, so we need some extra strength. Strength is probably the most important stat in the entire run.
We also didn't really explain this at the very beginning of the game, but another benefit of critical mode, in addition to all these extra abilities you get and that your damage is actually increased, is that you also get 50 bonus AP right at the start of the run, ability points in order to equip all of your abilities. So that allows us to not have to pick up AP boosts all around the area. So that's the only like additional AP we'll be giving ourselves through equips.
Now we get a fun little mini game here where you try for a 2-cycle and never get it.
Did we ever decide if this is like actually a thing or not?
It always looks like it.
It doesn't look like it.
And right after this, we're going to be fighting the next boss, the first boss of this world, which is Thresholder. Thresholder is one of those fights that actually surprisingly is a lot nicer on crit on runners anyways, because in every other version of the run, you can actually one-cycle the boss, but and it's usually very difficult, and you lose a ton of time if you miss it. But luckily in this version, you actually can't. But instead, we get to use Chicken Little, our first summon. Chicken Little is a cool property where he'll pull enemies that are far away from you closer in and group them together and stun them. And so he does that to get rid of the gargoyles, then again to take out the gargoyles. Or, sorry, I said that already. But then again to finish off the boss first, the first phase of the boss.
Yeah, he's the perfect crowd control. All right, good stuff. So a lot of this fight, thank you. It was pretty hard. A lot of this fight is dictated around getting a lot of experience. So that's why I went after a lot of the Heartless. We're going to be needing that experience in the next world. So, and we're not going to be seeing any other Heartless, so it's good to get it now.
There's a lot of little specifics to how Chicken Little works, but we'll get into that more in the next world. One thing, if you want to go ahead and point out what's nice about walking in here with Chicken Little out.
Oh yeah, so anytime the game changes your party members forcibly, like anytime it puts Donald and Goofy walking around here instead of actually being in your party.
Talking actors right now.
Exactly.
So they're out of the party.
Instead of actually helping you fight or anything like that. And anytime it does that, the game has to stop your use of a summon or a drive form, anything like that. And as long as you have that out, the game will automatically give you maximum drive because they didn't want to have you just immediately use Valor form and then immediately lose it and lose all your drive. Right. So it's actually a mechanic that we're going to abuse quite a bit in order to make sure that we have maximum drive at the ends of certain areas.
Yeah, because using Valor form and other forms later on will use up 3 or 4 total drive points. Right now we only have 3 that we're working with. Also using summons, those summons will also use up your drive bars.
Yes.
So all summons will use up 3 to note. All right, now we are making our way over to Beast, who is possessed by like anger and stuff like that, whatever. We need to knock some sense into him, so... not a lot to this fight. You do need to use Cogsworth's reaction command to initially stun him. And then if Bloody does this right, he should be able to get in a full 1 cycle here.
Yep, there we go. Right as Beast is retaliating, he finished him off. So then another reaction command from Cogsworth, and he finishes off the fight.
Okay. So now we're going to be putting Beast into the fight. Again, he also has a specific, a world or character-specific limit to him called Howling Moon.
Yeah, and even before that, we're gonna, just kind of mess with him here so he doesn't really attack the enemies.
There we go.
Okay. And then we're gonna put on Upper Slash, which is a combo modifier we'll get into in a little bit. Also taking Beast items, just like with every party member. And now we get to
I feel like I want to be a little safe this marathon, but yeah.
Yeah. Nice PS4 save warp in order to move over to Belle's room where we find out she's not there.
And then save warp immediately back out and go to the parlor. Again, this is how fast the load times here. We get to utilize this a lot more. It is actually roughly the same speed from what I understand, whether you use that save warp or not. But what's nice about it is we can use Valor form to have to move less of a distance.
We're going to have to use
we'll
Valor
more of it in this fight.
Yeah, we're going to have to use it in 2 fights, so we're going to need as much of it as possible.
Little subtle thing right here at the beginning. If you move towards him, he'll do a certain attack, but if you just move backwards instead, that'll make him go into the ground. Now he's going to dodge this attack, not bother attacking him yet. Gonna go up in the chandelier. This shockwave does not hurt you, by the way, for whatever reason. Now he's going to try to actually attack him in a specific direction, shooting him back out there. Now we're gonna go for windowless. Do we get it?
Yeah, good job.
That is a lot harder than it looks, by the way.
And that's just one of 2 fights that are chained together here. So you see that he has about 1.5 bars of drive form there. That's going to carry over into this next fight. He's going to start in Valor form.
Yeah, so he's going to start off with a bunch of orbs. That's going to make it really, really difficult to actually hit him. And it's also very dangerous to me. I can only take 3 of these.
Yeah, so he does quick double
Or
finisher
2 of
there,
them.
reverts, and then he's going to
This
jump
is fine.
into a Beast Limit, Twin Howl. He's going to use some damage from Beast Limit, and this is also just going to help manipulate the boss to not, kind of move around and go into a very long, time-wasting attack. Then he uses Upper Slash, that ability, that combo modifier we talked about before, knock him into the air, finish him off. That fight gets incredibly obnoxious if you don't do that very specifically, because he'll start jumping up into the chandelier, swinging around all the pillars and everything. It's really not a fun time.
It's kind of a common theme in Kingdom Hearts where if you damage them quite a bit, they're going to start using their more powerful attacks, their crazier attacks to guard and just survive in general. So a lot of times we'll try to get them to a very specific HP level, like he was there right before Beast Limit. Yo, that was dope. You can lock onto worlds and then like warp right in front of them, so it can be pretty tight tech.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll be trying to like get them to a specific bar and then just try to melt all of it in kind of one hyper extended combo a lot of the time.
Now we're at Disney Castle, where just things have gone bad. Tends to happen when the king is away.
Yeah. So what ends up happening here is we're going to lose Valor because once again we're going to lose Donald and Goofy, and then we're actually going to have to do 2 escort missions here with Minnie. Now Minnie, it might be an escort mission, but she's the one doing all the work in these fights or whatever you want to call them. If you stand right next to her and you use her Pearl reaction command, she does this.
Well,
Ooh,
this.
got him right past. You told me you weren't going to do that yesterday.
That's in the next one. Oh, I guess.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I messed that up for you. Ooh, all right.
You deserve that. All
I
right.
did.
Ideally, Minnie never gets hit, and you can keep constantly bringing her over and having her
Yeah.
use.
Her getting hit at the end of the dash isn't nearly that bad because she gets the full distance, and you can still use the reaction command pretty quickly. It's if she gets hit like as I'm going right here. Like if she gets hit before she even
shadow.
moves, we're good. Nice.
So she can only move every time you call her. She only moves a certain distance. So it's actually faster just to move then up to her and use the Pearl reaction command to sort of reset her and then be able to call her again immediately.
Yeah, we get a second escort mission here where we're going to let Edo talk for a little bit. But just before that, I want to point out that at the end of this mission, he's also going to get that extra accessory slot and equip that Sardonyx ring he bought earlier. So go for it, Edo.
All right, oh my goodness. We have a $15 donation from Suzushiro that says, now I want to buy the official soundtrack to GamesDoneQuick, the musical.
Which is a really weird hodgepodge of Disney songs, apparently.
And one aria.
And one aria. That kind of came out of nowhere.
We have a $1,000 donation from Anonymous.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Thank you.
That says, Kingdom Hearts is one of my favorite video game series, so I had to donate during it. The runners, commentators, singers, and announcer are doing a great job making this an awesome run to watch. 900K hype.
We can do it.
846. That's gone up 7,000 since I looked back there like 5 minutes ago. So let's do it, guys.
We also got a $1,300 donation from Fangamer
Wow.
That is a number.
saying, hey, it's Fangamer. These live performances of Disney songs are amazing. Keep up the good work. You're melting our hearts. Oh.
I'll take all the credit because I said be a man.
Angel fun.
We have a $100 donation from Anonymous that says, here's my favorite game growing up. Is Edo singing part of your world if it wins? No. Let's make it happen, chat.
Yo, do you want to sing my song?
Gaston, you mean?
Dude, you'd be perfect. All right, moving on.
Anyways, Timeless River. So this is where you're going to check your speakers, your headphones, and wonder what went on with the game audio. They just kind of went with this old-timey look and old-timey feel with the sound, too.
They're going for the aesthetics.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. This is old-timey Pete on top of that.
That was
It's
dope.
pretty easy.
Yeah. Once again, they're kind of a Another usage of that, getting in so many hits with the automatic air hits and then dropping to reset the combo and then going for it. Because once he like gets hit with a finisher and he falls to the ground, he'll a lot of times jump up and run around. You can't control him.
Yeah.
All right, so Chicken Little. This is Chicken Little World. There's a lot of specifics to how Chicken Little work. The main idea is you need Chicken Little to be right next to you and all of the enemies on screen to be far away. That's what will kind of get him to pull them back in. So you saw you hit him with that thunder, knocking it up in the air, and then he sucked them right back down. Now we're going to be using
back
these
to the middle
commands.
for the reaction commands as all the new waves of enemies spawn. He's also going to do a cheeky little fire here on top of the reaction command.
right.
I don't think it quite landed on them though, so he's going to have to drop back down.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Now
That's about the best that could have gone without actually getting all of the RCs to kill.
Yeah, and there are 4 of these windows. We'll be using Chicken Little in 3 out of the 4 of them.
A lot of specifics to this fight right here.
Oh, yeah.
Bloody, you probably know a little more than me.
Yeah, so we're going to suck these guys into the very beginning. And then we want Chicken Little to be very precisely positioned so that as these guys spawn, they also get sucked in, like, while they're in midair. So right here. Perfect. All right.
Nice.
Get the double fire here. We're going to position Chicken Little over here so that he'll whistle. Okay. He might do that. It's okay. Not the end of the world. Going to go for a combo. All right. He pulled them right back in. We're going to just do some cleanup. Now, I want all 4 of these guys to be sucked in. Here we go. That's what I'm looking for.
There's going to be one more random hammer enemy that pops in after these guys. Their last resort.
All right. Not too bad.
Maybe next time.
Honestly, it's that fight can go just like a myriad of ways, and you can just easily die to like the airplanes. So I'm okay with that.
And the hammers have a ground shake attack once they hit the ground.
Yeah, a
that
big
can also
gigantic
do.
shockwave.
Once again, Chicken Little comes out and the enemies come in.
All right. Need him to whistle these guys in. Well, most of them.
A couple of them went underground, so we might have to do a little bit of cleanup here.
Like this guy.
There it is. So now we have hot rods, which are some of the more frustrating enemies in this game, especially casually. They have this kind of big super armor attack when they get really low, which is unfortunately really hard to deal with casually. But with Chicken Little, he'll actually throw a firecracker at him, or a baseball at him, and knock him up into the air, which lets us steal them. On top of that, he could just kind of pull him in. You can finish him off with physical combos.
Okay.
And he stunned that one with the baseball. And
I get the feeling that we're going to get Berserk here. Yeah, we are. Okay. Now I'm looking for baseball, I think. There we go. My boy Chicken Little's got my back.
Yeah.
yeah, that hot rod, while it was kind of sitting there dancing and stuff, it was completely invulnerable from attacks from Sora. So have to wait on Chicken Little to use the baseball.
Yeah, so we're not going to actually use Chicken Little this time around because we aren't going to get that drive refill that those guys were talking about. So instead, we're going to be using a Trinity limit on these guys, but in a really weird way.
Yeah, he's going to kill off the second wave, and then he's going to just move into the wall and shoot it with the Mega Overdrive portion.
Yeah, it turns out there's a minimum amount of damage that Trinity Limit will do when it hits the finisher, and that will kill all of these rapid thrusters. So he just wants to get to that finisher as quickly as possible.
Yeah, you have to always use at least one of those 3 phases up to all 3 in order to actually get that finisher.
Yep, now we get to go back into Valor form. We're going to go fight Boat Pete.
He's on a boat. Yeah, so Valor actually even increases the damage along with reaction boost for these attacks right here, just hitting the trash back at him. Now with Bloody is actually, while he's kind of waiting to get on this hook, he's going to open up this chest, giving him a synth item. And we'll get to that later in the game in a few hours. So
Yeah, that synth item is really not going to be useful until the very end.
now, at any random time, that reaction command will pop up that will fling you over. If you do not press triangle before it comes over, yeah, that's extremely unlucky, unfortunately.
Pretty bad luck.
Normally, almost always, he's going to let you get in 2 full combos, which is important because that finisher does a lot of damage.
Yeah, the problem is that when you're using a finisher, you're locked out from using the reaction command, so that's why Bloody wasn't able to hit it there.
Yeah, so he'll a lot of times do 2 full combos and then switch to 1-2s, so that his recovery time is better.
But now we're coming up to the first fight where we want to really explain a pretty crucial concept in this game called revenge value.
There are a lot of important boss mechanics. This is probably the most important one.
Yeah, we're going to be fighting Pete for the second and final time here. And revenge value is this weird concept in the game that determines when enemies will retaliate, like when they'll attack you back. Otherwise, you know, if you just kept hitting them over and over, they would never retaliate, and every boss will be completely easy. So you need to let them break out in some manner. It turns out that the way that they did that is they have a value in the game that is just a number. It says like 14 or something. When Pete hits the number 14 for revenge value, he's going to retaliate.
12.5.
Oh,
You're
okay.
close.
Wow, that was pretty close.
That was not bad.
12.5.
So he
and
can
now
tell
every
right there.
single attack in the game does different amounts of, adds different amounts to that counter, to that revenge value. So a single hit might only add 1, but a fire might add 3 or something, or might add 2. So he's actually doing all of his combos specifically to manipulate the revenge value so that he knows exactly when Pete will be retaliating so he doesn't accidentally die in this fight.
And here in the final phase, Blaze is going to try to get a slide dash and a second hit in here, because then that's going to allow him to only have to use 2 reaction commands to kill this nerd.
There we go.
Very good. If you didn't quite understand revenge value from that quick explanation, don't worry. We'll be bringing it up again and again, especially later at the near the end of this run.
We are right here at our 4th out of our 5 Disney songs we're going to sing. So, Edo, what are we going to be doing?
Oh boy, this was a really close one, but it looks like we are going to be singing Gaston.
Okay.
All right. Yo, don't have to do the gummy mission again. We get to just sit here.
Nice.
Awesome. How you doing, Bloody? We're heading over to Port Royal, by the way, or the or the Pirates of the Caribbean world.
I love how this is a year and a half later and we still don't know the words.
I can't memorize lines. All right, we on? Okay, cool.
Okay, wait, hold on. Give me like 2 seconds.
All right, Spike,
me two.
move 1 step to your right.
What?
Move 1 step to your right.
To my right. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, we got this.
hey,
Yeah, these handy spikes right here.
The technology here at SGDQ 2017. All
All
right.
right, are we doing the dialogue beforehand?
Oh, yeah, we're doing the whole
okay.
thing.
All right.
Their money's worth.
Who does this girl think she is? That girl has tangled with the wrong man.
Yeah, darn right.
No one says no to Gaston. Dismiss. Rejected. Publicly humiliated. Why, it's more than I can bear.
More beer?
What's the use? Oh, sorry. There was a little pop.
Yeah, no,
Wait,
sorry,
hold
yeah,
on.
you're good.
What for? Nothing helps. I'm disgraced.
Who? You? Never. Gaston, you've got to pull yourself together. Gosh, it disturbs me to see you, Gaston, looking so down in the dumps. Oh, every guy here'd love to be you, Gaston, even when taking your lumps. There's no man in town as admired as you. You're everyone's favorite guy. Everyone's awed and inspired by you, and it's not very hard to see why. Yeah. No one's slick as Gaston, no one's quick as Gaston, no one's neck is incredibly thick as Gaston, for there's no man in town half as manly. I have to sing these parts too, I forgot. Perfect, a pure paragon. You can ask any Tom, Dick, or Stanley, and they'll tell you whose team they prefer to be on. No one's been like Gaston, a kingpin like Gaston. No one's got a swell cleft in his chin like Gaston.
As a specimen, yes, I'm intimidating.
My, what a guy. Gaston. Give 5 hurrahs, give 12 hip hips. Gaston is the best and the rest is all drips. That was where he hit him here in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
Reference.
Yeah.
All right. No one fights like Gaston, doused his lights like Gaston. In a wrestling match, nobody bites like Gaston. There's no one as burly and brawny.
As you see, I've got biceps to spare.
My God, not a bit of him scraggly or scrawny.
That's right, and every last inch of me's covered in hair.
Rip it open. All right, there it is. No one hits like Gaston, matches wits like Gaston. In a spitting match, nobody spits like Gaston.
I'm especially good at expectorating.
Yo, 10 points for Gaston. That was dope, dude. All right,
thanks.
sick.
Oh, when I was a lad, I ate 4 dozen eggs every morning to help me get large. And now that I've grown, I eat 5 dozen eggs, so I'm roughly the size of a bug.
Woo!
My, what a guy, Gaston. No one shoots like Gaston, makes those buttes like Gaston, then goes tromping around wearing boots like Gaston.
I use antlers in all of my decorating.
My, what a guy, Gaston.
Fantastic. So over here, we're playing a video game. So we'll get back to, I guess, how the pirates work later. But right now, this is a very cool fight in the town. Chicken Little, again, being used to no end. Now, one of the things we talked about before with dry forms, Spike touched on, is that dry forms level up in different ways, and summons actually level up as well, which increases the amount of time that they come out. The way that summons level up is basically by using summons, by having the bar tick down a point every time you use a summon.
Mm-hmm. So if you use an entire limit, then that's like 3 experience for the summon.
Exactly, and we do want that summon to hit a couple of higher levels, so. Now, we're going to be fighting this ambush here. You can actually run away from this fight, but it turns out we want the experience, and it's very quick to fight. As you can see, already over.
Yeah. There's another more specifics there with utilizing Chicken Little, moving back into that corner, locking onto the pirate, just because that's going to be the most central place when you shoot those blizzards to hit all of the enemies.
We're walking up to a on Isla de Muerta.
Isla de Muerta.
I can't, yeah.
Muerta.
Oh yeah, I was like, why does that sound wrong to me?
We shouldn't try this. Anyway, so here. We want to survive this fight for a minute, but we also want to get pirates just give a ton of experience, good money. They drop MP bubbles so we can refill our magic. He wants to stay at this specific distance because you see there's 2 different types of pirates in this fight. There are the regular, kind of the stronger enemies. There's also the snipers. And if you're too far away, you can use these reaction commands to sort of guard their shots. But if you're too far away, you actually can't use the reaction command, but they can still hit you.
Yeah, and we didn't get to talk about it before, but the way that these pirates work is that they're actually invulnerable when they're in shadows, but when they're in moonlight, they're completely vulnerable, and they're very susceptible to magic.
So the combos he's using here, because magic is so effective on them, he's going to be using Blizzard, Blizzard, and then go into physical attacks after that because those will be finishers, and they'll deal basically as much damage as it would have been had it been like a Blizzard finisher.
Yeah,
so we're just kind of maximizing our damage.
It's going pretty well so far, so should be able to take out an entire another wave here. And again, we just want more money and more experience, and we have to burn the timer anyways.
Yeah, that was actually really good grinding there. I felt like that was a lot of pirates.
Yeah.
So.
That's also it can be a real terrifying fight just getting 2-shot there. So
we have another ambush fight here that's actually going to link directly into kind of the biggest fight of this world, the boat fight. He moves all the way to the left side there once again to line up this Chicken Little whistle right here. There's 3 pirates right here, and then 1 more bomb pirate will spawn.
Baseball, thank you.
Baseball, thank you.
Picked up a potion there. Would have liked it to have been an ether, but a potion works as well.
Yeah.
Now, fighting out that ambush is a bit slower, but we need the experience, and there's the potential for ether drops. And now Chicken Little remains out as we move into this actual fight that you have to fight. You can't run away from. We'll be fighting out most of it in the bottom portion of this boat, but we'll later move on.
Yeah, we've got 3 waves of pirates right here. We got these first, like mostly just kind of the bigger, stronger enemies that we're gonna have to take out. Because of how they get whistled, you actually don't want to use a full 4-hit combo. You just want to use 3 because the 4th will pretty much always whiff. After he clears out all these enemies down here, it looks like he got some potentially early spawns. This fight can get really trashy very easily. So he's got 1 more here. He's going to actually try to get them over here on these stairs and have Chicken Little suck them in with his whistle.
You can tell he's being very cautious, too, about making sure that Chicken Little pulls them in before he starts attacking them. It's incredibly easy to die in this fight. It's a common place to take the first death of the run. So we really want to avoid that if at all possible.
Yeah, get Chicken Little up there.
Chicken Little also has a health bar, even though you can't see it, and it kind of shares with the summon gauge. So if he gets hit, then that summon gauge will shrink down real fast.
But you can see you can also potentially get it back from certain attacks and certain magic. We should be able to save it right here.
There we go.
Very
Okay,
nice, yeah.
Really want to end that fight with Chicken Little still out because of that drive recovery mechanic we were talking about earlier. Because it changes your party, we get all that drive back, and we're going to be using it pretty shortly.
Time for the worst fight in the run.
So it's very random how these Heartless are going to react to. If any of these 5 barrels explode, then you die. So you want to make sure you're dodging them while you're doing these very slow animations, getting in place to knock them off.
Yeah.
So he's having to use up Valor early and
Not
try to
liking
dodge
this.
around.
Okay. Come on.
No, you
Okay,
just saved
good.
Biz $10. Nice, there you go. That is actually it might seem the most little mundane mini game. It's actually a pretty decent place where you could die.
Right.
You either kill all of the enemies and hit them all for free, or you just kind of hope they don't hit you and just go for it.
We're running up to the boss fight of this world, Barbosa, and while we are, I just want to mention we hit $850,000, so that's about 25K raised during this run so far. Let's get up to 900 people. We can make it happen.
I want to see 1 million by the end of Mario. So 900 by the end of this, 1 million by the end of the Mario Relay. This is a hype night, guys. Let's make it happen. Now, we got this Heartless up here. We actually need to kill it before Barbosa will spawn. There's a handful of different places that this Heartless can spawn, and that will actually dictate where Barbosa is.
Barbosa is the same moonlight and shadow mechanic that all of the pirates do on this world, so we need to make sure that we attack him very quickly and freeze him and instantly get into another combo where we do it again and repeat this process over and over in the fight, because otherwise he's actually pretty dangerous.
Yeah, he can kill you very quickly, and you can also die from him killing Jack as well, so you can't even just play it safe. Bloody is also being careful about keeping him away from the shadows the whole time, so he likes to keep him in that corner,
Good fight.
moving into that loading zone. Good stuff, dude.
All right, that means we're going to be going up to another gummy mission here. So
Here's our last
this is
one.
Our last
What do we
one.
got?
What's it going to be? And let's make sure we close that off.
It's going to be part of your world.
All right.
Little
Are
Mermaid.
you doing part of that?
No,
that's
that's
oh,
just
right.
Ariel.
You,
You doing okay back there?
never mind. No. She. Never mind. Never mind. You'll see.
Okay.
Let's go, Kung Fu.
Hello.
Hey.
All right, guess we'll get going. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? Look at this trove, treasures untold. How many wonders can one cavern hold? Looking around here, you'd think, sure, she's got everything. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got who's its and what's its galore. You want thingamabobs? I've got 20. But who cares? No big deal. I want more. I want to be where the people are. I want to see them dancing, walking around on those. Wait, what do you call them?
Feet.
Thank you, Spike. All right. Flipping your fins, you don't get too far. Legs are required for jumping, dancing, strolling along down the. Wait, what's that word again? I got it. Yeah. Street. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun, wandering free. Wish I could be part of that world. What would I give if I could live out of these waters? What would I say to spend a day warm on the sand? Bet you on land they'd understand. Bet they don't reprimand their daughters. Bright young women, sick of swimming, ready to stand and ready to know what the people know. Ask them my questions and get some answers. What is a fire and why does it, what's the word, burn? When's it my turn? Wouldn't I love to explore a world above. Out of the sea. Wish I could be part of that world.
As I know, I felt.
Thank you again for all your donations, folks.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Kung Fu Fruit Cup and Zim and Spike, just everybody volunteering to sing. It was.
Dude, and you as well.
Thank you, man.
Dex and I said be a man.
Pretty good job.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the biggest menu in the game.
There we go.
Nice.
Very nice. We don't even need to explain it.
Yeah, right. So here's Wisdom form. We just got this form. It's the next one in addition to Valor. Actually, we got it a few worlds ago, but we're just now using it. And actually, what he was doing there is he's not getting necessarily experience for himself, although you get it as well. He was killing those Heartless because Wisdom form actually levels up by killing Heartless. Like each individual Heartless is 1 experience point. So right now he's spawning more enemies and then using the Silver Rocks reaction command called Shift Shot or whatever it is, getting him 7 total kills between those 2 rooms.
And for a long time, Wisdom Form wasn't really used.
Yeah.
Wisdom Form grinding wasn't used in the run because just thought, where are we going to kill this many Heartless? Like, where are we going to be able to level this up? But it's actually, turns out that in Agrabah, we can level up all the way to level 3 by the end of it, which is all we need. And that's just so that we can get this quick run movement ability that you're seeing unlocked on Sora by default instead of just on Wisdom Form.
It's better than just jogging around and using a lot of drives as well. Using a lot of drives would eventually lead us to getting into anti-form, or it would make routing hard, so much more convenient and fast doing it this way.
Yeah, have we explained anti-form yet?
No, I think probably
We could probably hold
better
off
time
on that.
to bring it up later, but
Yeah, so leveling up each of the drive forms. Once you get each of them to level 3, we'll give you a specific growth, which is a movement ability. So getting Valor to level 3 a couple worlds ago actually netted us high jump, which he equipped earlier.
we also got a new magic recently called Reflect, and we're going to be
Yes.
using that a lot throughout the
Best
rest of the run.
magic in the
Reflect
game,
is the best
without a
magic in
doubt.
the game.
Yeah,
One of the
you-
most broken things in this game.
Already saw it once with the Silver Rocks, but we'll be using it again pretty quickly here. He's going to bait out an attack from this enemy, use Reflect, and as soon as the enemy attacks that barrier, it'll reflect a lot of damage. And it's not based on the damage that the enemy did to you. It's actually based on your magic power, which makes it incredibly strong. It was actually buffed in the final mix version because it wasn't as
it's like each version of this game, they've gradually buffed it more and more, going from the original Japanese version where it did chip damage to now where it's like your main tool.
This enemy you have to hit from the back, so that's all he's really doing there. And now
We're going to
this
get a
next
little bit
one-
more intermediate course to using Reflect here.
Yep.
Stunning this guy to...
Bait it out.
Yep. And then that hits everything in the area, doing lots and lots of damage.
Luckily, it just so happens that the little mini Fire Lord things, the Fire Dudes, is that
Fire
what we
dudes. I like
decided
fire
we're gonna
dudes
call
and
them?
ice cubies.
Yeah.
Now, the advanced course to using Reflect, we're actually going to carry it over with us
Yes.
if we do this correctly.
He's going to time this correctly to push this enemy into the center of the arena, lock onto this guy, reflect, and
There we
then
go.
pull that reflect up to him.
with the Trinity, which
Yes.
will always move you to the enemy.
Because the reflect's going to stay on top of Sora, so by using Trinity, which will snap you up to him, the reflect actually goes off from that attack hitting it.
And it's also because Trinity behaves differently when you have Donald and Goofy with you, as opposed to if you only have one or none of them.
Yeah, it gives you like a solo Trinity ability. You'll still be able to do something.
Yeah.
Now we're going to be getting to level 3 while killing these enemies off. He's going to be baiting out attacks. The ice cubes, when they land on the ground, you can tell that's when they're about to attack you. So he throws out the reflect. So this might look simple. You can't just spam out reflect and get reflect damage.
There's the level 3, which, as you can see, also gave quick run level 1 to Sora. That's exactly what we need. We're going to finish off the last bit of these Fire Dudes here.
Which will
and
get us down
then
to 3 Heartless.
switch from...
Oh.
oh, no.
How
okay.
in the...
Wow. So
What?
he needed to switch Aladdin to Goofy. He accidentally switched Donald to Goofy the first time, then had to fix it.
We'll
and
see how well this goes.
in
Might
order
a
to be
little
able to
rough.
use this Trinity. And now hopefully it'll kill everything, because if not, this is going to go pretty
Oh
scary.
my
Wow.
Lanta! What?
That is a menu mistake of one input. He simply just didn't go to Aladdin. He instead went to Donald. And recovery for that is absolutely insane because you do not have a lot of time at the end of that fight.
All right, so we just gave Donald his first limit of the game, Comet, and we also gave ourselves Quick Run, which again we got from getting Wisdom to its level 3 form. So now that's going to be our main mode of movement throughout the rest of the game. So if nothing else, just something we can fall back on when we don't have better things to move with.
Also
So now we're going to be
seeing
using Comet.
Yeah, we're going to see Comet's usefulness immediately. Again, you're invulnerable during the use of any limits, so he doesn't have to worry about landing on these fire patches on the ground. And on top of that, he can use Comet Rain, the ending of that limit, the finisher of it, in order to blow up a lot of the smaller enemies immediately.
And by using Valor Form right there, that explosion got rid of all the small fire and ice dudes.
That's okay. I would prefer him not to bounce around like that, but we can still make it work.
The Twin Lords are a very tricky fight because they aren't necessarily the hardest to avoid dying in or anything like that.
Wow.
But you can lose a lot of time very quickly if you don't know how to manage taking out the smaller guys with the bigger
Yo,
guys.
I like the fire swag at the end for the kill. So
right.
yeah, that was cool.
Now we've got one final gummy mission. We're not singing during this one.
Yeah, there actually will be one
Well,
more.
there
final,
will, but
a
there-
final,
yeah.
final
There are a
gummy
couple
mission.
more.
Yeah, this is kind of where the
there's a
run
few.
really picks up. After he goes through this gummy mission, he doesn't have another one breaking it up. And because they hit this, when this game got ported to PS4, the load times are gut tier. So just the pace of it is crazy from here. But yeah, during these, Edo, go ahead.
Yeah, one thing, well, I mean, just kind of get some sour please in chat because this music, I don't know what they decided to do with this gummy music, but they're just like, guitar dude, you just want to
I
rock
like
out?
it.
And they were just like, okay, and they just decided to let him go for
I
it.
love
so.
it, man. This is
no,
like-
it's some good music. Now, Edo, if you could
Headbang
please read some
gummy
donations
music.
for
No
us.
problem. I have a $100 donation from Bongo102 that says an extra $50 if Spike will do his best Gaston flex pose.
I've got about 12 hairs in there, you can see.
I don't think you know what the definition of flex is.
No, dude, that's what he does in the movie, dude.
We actually have a $2,500 donation.
Wow.
From the Dope Fish that says, I've been watching GDQs for 7 years now, and it's always a great time. Really looking forward to the Mario Relay Race. And sorry, animals, gotta go fast. $5 from Ike Crispy King that says, I don't have much to donate, but if everyone donates a little bit, we can hit that 900K before Kingdom Hearts is over.
852 right now. Let's make it, guys.
All right, we're starting to get there. We have a $20 donation from Arc Razor that says, show those animals a whole new world by saving them from hellfire.
References.
That was pretty good.
We have a $150 donation from Dehem that says, for Edo Bean and her super cute voice, thank you. Keep the boys on the couch in line if you can. I don't know if I can. Announcer choice of how to spend this. We also have a $15 donation from RPD234 that says, more speedruns should be musicals. Remember, you can buy your soundtrack later today.
Super Metroid the musical.
Hey, Zost, would you please sing during Fantoon, A Whole New World? You know, he was singing the other night. He was pretty good, I ain't gonna lie. I'm an idiot, just keeps reading donations.
You're fine. You have a $25 donation from Emil that says, I'll make a man of you was amazing. Good luck on the rest of the run. Oh, Edo Bean is the best announcer. Also, greetings from Finland. Thank you. Appreciate it. We have a $10 donation from Anonymous that says, for the 900K hype, we can do it before the run ends. Wanna Beast donates $50 that says, that stellar performance of Gaston was the best birthday gift anyone could ever want.
Hey, happy birthday.
Feels birthday, man.
We have a $50 donation from Ryan Hill that says, love GamesDoneQuick. First time donating. Kingdom Hearts 2 is one of my favorite RPGs of all time, and the live singing makes it even better. I see SGDQ only getting bigger and better from here. Don't forget to donate for the blindfolded run, and let's receive those bits.
Oh, yeah. Y'all should also, in addition to dollars, throw down some bits. If you want to cheer a little bit, because we'd like to get to 5 million bits to get that blindfolded Majora's Mask by Trev. Trev, one of the best Majora's Mask players in the world, make that happen, please.
Probably get one more fast one.
Yeah.
No problem. We have a $150 donation from Mining for Fish that says, if the entire chat donates $5, we can make it way past 900K easy. So let's do our part and shatter those borders.
Awesome. So now we took the items from Jack again, and then we put on an ability called Finishing Leap, which we'll see in just a moment. But before that, we've got a new summon, Genie, that we got from Agrabah. And the really great property of Genie is that he's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Thanks, Genie.
That fight is obnoxiously long. There's so many waves. They spawn all over the place, much faster. Even on beginner, where they're taking chip damage, they'll take a death abuse through that fight.
Yeah, and the main reason we summon Genie there, he doesn't do anything, and Donald would heal you. And on top of that, Genie, like actually all of your summons will heal you if you get low enough, but you take the damage so quickly that with Genie, you don't have to worry about it.
Now this fight's going to get a little bit scary.
Yeah.
And take some damage on purpose.
Experience boost here. He's going to wait a split second to manipulate the position, move in, reflect the first few attacks, killing off the mole enemies, then take damage. As you can see, he's well below half health, putting him into experience boost territory. When you're below half health and you kill anything while experience boost is on, you will get double the experience. So by setting that up very specifically, then spawning into Dance Call, the spawns of the enemies came in and got caught by it.
Giving him an extra 218 experience, absolutely crazy.
I think we're actually a little bit over leveled. I got level 18 off of the first guy, not even the second.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's a lot. There's a lot of variance with just how many enemies you kill in all the different, just kind of waiting a minute fights.
It's almost impossible to be over leveled in this category, so that's good news, honestly.
Yeah, and level 18 there is very specific because it gives us a strength increase, cutting out a lot of the extra combos we have to do on this next fight in particular, the Prison Keeper. There's a little bit of RNG right here at the beginning of Prison Keeper. There's one of three kids he can eat. He's going to eat them all in some order, but it's going to be lock, shock, and barrel. So depending on which one he eats, Bloody's going to have to react accordingly with a different technique.
Yeah, ideally he would like to be able to reflect into a Trinity, I believe. Not quite able to do it here.
And we're going to be doing combos here to get to this HP gate right around here. Okay, that's what I want. Want him to do that.
Dance Call is incredibly powerful.
Yeah, once again, it's Jack's limit, and it sucks enemies in as well as deals a lot of damage. Even when you're not using downbeat or synchronization, it still deals quite a bit of damage just while he's spinning there.
There is a finisher to it, but it does take quite a bit of time, and the DPS isn't great, so Bloody elects to just drop out of it right there.
So because he waited for the specific HP barriers, he was able to skip one of the kids being eaten, I believe. Or skip a small little invulnerability phase.
There we go.
Bloody could tell, just kind of, he hit the HP gate at an unfortunate time, but he's got enough time there to drop down and get off the potion. And you can see this like really wild looking attack, the aerial finish. It has a lot of stun properties to it. So he wants to kind of time his attack during the invulnerable phase to get that aerial finish. Now Dance Call should be able to kill right here.
Yeah, it's about like a bar and a half of damage, so it's quite good.
Yo, we got to see the finisher.
There we go.
Very easy to die. I mean, we're going to keep saying it, but very easy to die in any fight. That one especially, if you aren't really, confident, if you aren't doing everything properly, you'll die in 1 or 2 hits pretty quickly.
Yeah, I was a little scared there towards the end because he was pretty high, and when he starts biting, that's a 2-shot, and if you just get hit by a stray hit while you're in the air, it makes things a little bit scary, so.
Back left, baby.
Back left. Another save warp right here. This one will save about 3 seconds.
I always forget that one. So again, PS4 load times are crazy good.
Yeah, that's just across like one loading zone, and that still saves 3 seconds. It's crazy.
Yeah. Now we're into the main boss fight of the world, Oogie Boogie. This is actually, Oogie always, throughout the Kingdom Hearts games, has some kind of gimmick fight. This is that gimmick fight. He's up on this platform. We need to knock him down. The only way to do that is to use our golf swing to get a bunch of presents up there and overload the platform.
I have never heard it called a golf swing, but I mean, it's a golf swing.
It says 4.
Yeah.
I've never, do you think I read?
All right, anyways, he's going to keep golf swinging. And he's
I'm gonna delay it
That's
here.
not how you spell it.
He's gonna delay because he
The
listens
punch.
for certain
Yeah.
audio cues, and that punch is a one-shot if it hits him.
Don't want him to punch Oogie all the way back into the spikes. That would make things pretty slow. So
Yeah, because at the ends of these conveyor belts are indeed spikes that will deal a lot of damage. So the entire, point of this fight, or the entire time of this fight, he's going to be listening for audio cues that I'm going to keep talking over because
all
it'll
right, now
mess
this
him
is
up.
where things get a little scary.
Yeah,
Depends
each
on
of
what we
these
get
little
here.
bags will open up a heartless. So that's why he's getting Chicken
That's
Little
good.
out.
That's good too. All right, I'm happy with that. Emerald Blues, the guys that cast wind.
Oh,
make
wait,
this very,
there's
very
one
scary.
more.
All right, now that's actually that's an interesting case. Actually, is a good thing because it's
Yeah.
going to prevent him from summoning more bags as long as he's alive. So, or it's going to keep him alive. He's just going to, hang out with Chicken Little. He needs a friend.
You got a friend in me. Okay. So yeah, you have to get 12 boxes up there each time to knock him down, but progressively, like the first time he'll just let you get all 12 in one phase. Then it's going to be 8 and 4, and then he'll break it up 4, 4, 4.
He's able
gonna
to do
have
just
more movement.
basic combos there because because he was able to leave that enemy alive. Otherwise, some more enemies would be spawned, and you might have to use Dance Call.
That is an actually frame perfect trick to catch that right there and be able to move over instantly.
isn't-
It just wastes a few seconds.
I haven't set up like a timing for that to like just instead of mashing. So I just kind of mash for it and hope I get it. No big deal if I don't.
Again, put on that slight delay because he could hear that the dice was going to fall down, so we waited until he had the iframes from the golf swing. Now,
Alright.
Bloody also has to react to which side Oogie's going to move to, and then which side, the blue windows are going to be able to spit you out in. Also, never get caught by one of those lightning attacks, because they like to basically just combo you all the way to the back, hit the spikes, and kill you.
All right,
Now
what are we gonna get
he's going
here?
to move either once or twice here. We want him to move just once.
Nice.
And that's what he did.
Again, all working off of audio cues here.
And counting the number of boxes that he's
I'm gonna be
hitting
very
up
careful
on the
about this
platform.
lightning. I get iframes for using the RC, so I just get to stand in the lightning and do that.
And again, RC standing for reaction command. All these times he's pressing triangle on these
Yeah.
boxes.
Now we're pretty much home free here.
All right, good
There we
fight.
go.
Good fight.
That is one of the worst fights to die in the entire game.
It's
because
terrifying, and
it's
there's really
so
not much
long.
interactivity to it, so it's one of the worst fights in the run, for
It's
sure.
very easy to kind of, start muscle memory, muscle
Right.
memorying your way through it and just not really paying
Now,
attention.
this is
There
a
you go.
tougher world warp, so we'll just see
All
what
right.
I can do here.
Good luck.
Ah,
Hey,
Atlantica.
Atlantica, what's up?
We're not going there.
If someone donates $1 million,
Yeah, can I get $1 million,
right
please?
now,
I'll go
I
to
want
Atlantica.
not $1 million total. I want $1 million additional right now, and we'll go to Atlantica.
All right, so we get Magnet now. That's also one of the best spells in the game. It has a lot of utility. You're gonna see it here.
We were talking about finishing leap earlier. It's one of our best finisher modifiers we're going to have throughout the entire game. So we're going to be going into a magnet and then comboing that into the finishing leap, that ground slam that you're seeing right there. Now he's going to reflect this, going directly into a magnet
okay.
and then into Valor form. Grabbing this Claymore with this RC, getting all of the enemies stuck.
I don't think the Berserker's gonna die. We're gonna see what happens. Oh, he did.
Oh, he did.
Okay, that's really good.
Now, the Claymore remains on the ground for just a little bit, so he picked it up again. And
Okay.
luckily, the other guy jumped to him, so he's able to catch all three of these
Nice.
in the RC. Should be able to use one
I'm gonna
more.
catch this guy, and then I'm gonna get right in the middle. These guys are gonna Berserk, but they're still gonna get hit by this RC. Probably. There we go.
Very
Perfect.
nice. That was played so well. Because it was unfortunate, like it's pretty much only going to do half damage each time that they spread out to all the corners. A lot of people would have probably, probably would have run around trying to catch all of them. Bloody just got in a position where he knew they were going to come in. Because they're still going to take damage. They have that super armor, or that brick wall as you call it. So just having that correct positioning. Those slam attacks that they do once they get into their desperation moves, is extremely powerful and very easily can kill you, so you don't want to drop that.
We also just got a new drive form on top of Valor and
Limit form.
Wisdom form called Limit Form. Limit Form is insanely useful, but we'll probably explain it a bit more once we first see its use.
Yeah, it's a new addition to Final Mix. There's some added content, and that's a new drive form. It's pretty much a callback to Kingdom Hearts 1 and its abilities, so you'll see that later on.
Before that, we got to go back to Hollow Bastion, where we're going to use Wisdom Form for some faster movement, because we have to run quite a while for now.
You get some super swag movement with Wisdom form because you can toggle to your menu to use stuff like Fire and Reflect you're going to see later on. To skip over stuff like Valor form jumps higher, Wisdom pretty much always would have to grab ledges, but now you're not going to have to see that because of using Fire to kind of extend your jump.
This setup here is a little bit difficult.
Get that Reflect.
Sucks.
Trying to skip that ledge grab, as Spike was saying.
It's pretty precise.
Using a Fire here, though.
It's okay.
I'm so sad.
I messed up. Oh my god.
But now we're heading our way to this computer so we can go over to Tron World. While we're going over there, there's just a little bit of a maze and stuff, but nothing really is going on. So I think we got some time for some donations, Zeto.
No problem. We have a $10 donation from Cat235 that says Gaston was on point. We also have a $20 donation from Flux Dog and Celeda that says, we're convinced. Now we're fans of Gaston. Donation goes to Spike Vegeta and his gossamer-like voice. Have fun. We have a $333.33 donation from Anonymous that just says heart.
Thank
that
you.
specific inflection. Fine.
Heart. We have a $100 donation from Anonymous that says, gotta love watching my favorite speedrunner run of my favorite games. Now praise your boy Yevon. And this goes to Naming Cloud after the man, the myth, the voice, Spike Vegeta.
All right, now we're in Tron World, or Space Paranoids.
That is my favorite minigame right there. That is my favorite minigame right there.
Yeah, just talking to the mic, dude.
I had it down, dude. I want a drink. It's water.
So, yeah, you had to do a very quick mini game there. Now a short menu, and he's going to move on to another mini game. It's weird. You kind of have to go into Space Paranoids and back out like very quick 2 times. It's a little weird that they kind of did it that way.
We got to talk to Mickey.
Yeah, but instead we have to do this mini game first. Box is going to appear in a random location, and then you need to move near the box to get the thing to start spinning, and then it'll turn about 2.4 or so on PS4. And you just have to follow the box and use a drive explosion in order to
Great
get rid
minigame
of
so
it.
far. All right. But now we're going to be using Wisdom Form. To note, Wisdom Form, as you saw in Hollow Bastion there, a little bit faster than just doing the regular quick run that we have. But we don't want to overuse it. I think this is an okay time for us to actually talk about Anti-Form, because we're actually about to get another form right here, Master Form, which probably is the last form we'll be getting.
Yeah, so the way Anti-Form works is that the game the developers knew that drive forms were incredibly powerful, so they wanted to give you a punishment for just spamming drive forms everywhere. And that punishment is Anti-Form. That's a form where Sora, turns into this dark creature and kind of has all these weird abilities, things that we're not really in control of, and it's supposed to represent like the chaos of power or something like that. I don't know. And if every time you use a drive form, you add anti-points to this invisible counter, and if you add too many, then you have a chance of getting anti-form in a fight.
All right, so we took a hit there. We can't take any more hits for the rest of Light Cycle, otherwise we are for sure dead, but let's just see how well we can do.
I believe, dude. Yeah, as you can see, he got nicked once by one enemy, and that was 90% of his health. It can be easy to forget for players at a high level that there's a ton of damage that can be dealt in one hit.
He hasn't been hit a lot in this run, so it's kind of nice we at least get to see
what the critical health sounds
Yeah,
like.
exactly.
Okay, here we go. I'm trying to set up this little boost right here off of that guy right there.
Nice.
So cool.
You throw your Keyblade off of their shield, which will just boost you. Normally it'll boost you into a wall, and he could have died right there. But he timed it right to where it just shot him down the corridor.
There is another one he's going to potentially be able to do later if
Right
if
here.
everything is all
So
well.
we're gonna take care of this guy. He's gonna come to me. And then that green guy's gonna give me the shield, and we're good. All right. Now
nice.
this is the hard part. All right.
Bunch of enemies in this corridor that he's got to worry about. And the color of the enemy determines what abilities they have. The white enemies have the abilities of all 3 of the other colors. So they can use any of their attacks randomly, despite the fact that what types of enemies spawn where is actually completely set.
There we go.
All right, so now he should be pretty safe for getting to the end. Now there's 2 Devastators at the end here. Make sure you dodge them. Very good.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the one day that somehow one of those Devastators
Hits you.
snipes someone.
Yeah. All right, so now we're
We
moving
got
up.
Stitch earlier, actually, and he's going to have his
Yes.
one use right here.
Yeah, this is the only time we're going to grab him. So this is, you kind of notice like little minor points of grinding. We kill an enemy here and there for different things. Right now we're actually going to get back into critical health, which very conveniently, you do that aerial dive right there.
Thank you.
Puts you, once again, at like 10% health. Anything below 50% will activate experience boost, which again means every enemy you kill while you're under 50% will give you double the experience. So the reason why Stitch is good is because he occasionally can, and I'm not making this up, he occasionally can just lick you and give you your MP back. So hopefully he does that like the entire time.
Hey, there's one.
Oh, nice. Okay.
What they want you to do in this minigame is freeze each of these 3 computer screens by killing the enemies, and instead of them dropping HP orbs or anything, they drop these little orbs that just are
clusters,
used for the minigame.
There we go. Okay, not too slow.
Now that he's taken out 2 monitors, the enemies will